Hi, Patric here, and welcome to today's Insider Coaching session. I've prepared 5 questions which I will be answering. I hope that by diving into all these answers, it's going to help you to either get started with your business, to launch it successfully, or to grow it to the next level. So let's start with the first question. What is your model of paid advertising from now onwards? As in, like, how I will be doing paid advertising right now. I mean, what is the current trend and how we should improvise to get the best result with paid advertising. So paid advertising could be, say, running ads from Facebook, running ads from Google, running ads for all kinds of paid media that you are exploring right now, or maybe you are already running with. Okay, so how would I do this? Now, before I share with you my strategy or my approach, I also want to share with you my previous approach. So previously in all of my training, when it comes to paid ads, I will only focus on generating leads. Meaning that if I was to say run an ad, the ad must always go to a lead captured page so that I capture the leads, get them to subscribe into my mailing list, and so forth. And when I say about a lead, should I say a subscriber, I'm referring mainly to the email address. So we're going to build an email list. And the whole focus is that if you can build an email list and you can build relationship with them through the email communication, you should be able to generate sales when you recommend your offers, products to them, whether you are an affiliate marketer or whether you are a product creator. It means that you have your own product to sell. Now, but from now onwards, the way how I would focus on my ads, generally not referring to any specific platform like Facebook and so forth, but generally, right, my ads will be driven to a sale, a product sale, and I will not be focusing on building lead. Now, of course, there will be case-to-case basis, but if you ask me what is my core model, that is how the core model is going to be. Why do we just shift to this new model, or why I would shift into this new model? So if you are still building a list, leads in that sense, email subscriber, chances are you may not monetize them fast enough. Or in another word, you may not even cover your advertising costs, right? So because of that, we have now improvised differently. So if I was to run paid ads, right, I would drive them to a product sale. So I'm in a digital e-commerce business, which means that my products are digital products, or should I say most of my products are all educational products, which means it could be courses, it could be ebooks and so on. So the whole strategy, the whole concept is to drive traffic to a web page where I can make the sale. And when they go to this webpage to buy, it will not be some high price product. It will be a very low price product. Now, what do I mean by low price product? Could be, say, a book. It could be a free book offer, which means that they pay $7.95 for handling and shipping. They get the book for free, but it's a real book. Or I could sell the book for $7. Or it could be a home course, a digital course, sell for instead of $97, I could do, say, a promotional discount for maybe like $17 or even $10, right? So the whole concept is to deliver so much value for such a low fee. And the reason why we are doing this, it's not mainly about trying to make money from the sales, or sometimes it may not even break even from the ad cost, but it is still to acquire the so-called leads. But the difference is that we are not acquiring email leads, we are acquiring buyer leads, which means that all of the leads that we captured are actually customers. Now, if they are customers, the likelihood of them to still check the emails and respond will still be there. Because if you buy something from me and you get an email, it's very likely that you open it up because you are a customer. Does that make sense? I mean, if I buy a product from a company and they send me emails, I will check it out because it could be something that's relevant to me, or it could be an update about my purchase and so on, right? So that's the first thing. And the second thing is that once they are driven to the web page to buy the low cost product that delivers high value, now This product here, this is called the front end. In the normal lingo, I call this the value product, which means that this product is meant to deliver the value to them. And after they purchase, then they will see an offer. And the offer's job is so that I can acquire the customer for free because I'm running ads, right? So if the offer, the lack of a better word, the upsell is able to convert from me and break even for my buyer leads generation, I'm happy, right? Because my goal here with my paid advertising is still to build my leads, but my buyer leads. So that's how the model is going to be for me, and I will do my best to convert. Now, if you think again, if you see on this logic, you may say, but then you will drastically have less leads, which is true, right? But then again, it's also a numbers game, which means that if you are buying traffic, if you are not getting enough leads, it simply means you're not spending enough, which means that you are not investing enough in the ads. So if the conversion is working, all I need to do is scale up to increase my ad budget so that all the whole maths, the equation, it is still generating positive lead acquisition for me day in and day out. So that is basically the model that I will run from now for my paid ads. So now the next question that I want to share with you is this. I still haven't started. Why? Like, I've been learning, I've been doing, wait, I stand corrected. I've been learning, not doing. Okay, so that's the hint. So I still haven't started. Why? What is actually happening? Now, you may think that this is a newbie situation, but no, this actually happens to intermediate marketers. Means they know everything, intermediate, they kind of understand the whole thing, but they still haven't got started. Why is that so? The logic is actually, if you are facing that, it's because you love to learn more than do, right? Everybody loves to learn, and you happen to be one of those people who enjoy learning so much. So you continue to learn, and you are somewhat having the mentality that you still haven't learned enough for you to take action. So when I'm teaching you this, I want you to know is that when I say this, when I critique it to you, it is in no intention to critique you in that sense, but to help you to have your breakthrough so that you will not be stuck in this situation. Because either you are consciously asking yourself why I haven't started, or unconsciously means that you don't even realize that you haven't got started. We need to address this in order for you to move forward. So the way how I look at it, and I know this answer because I have so many clients and most of them falls into almost the same situation. They just love to learn. But the actual situation is that they don't like to take action simply because of two reasons. One is action is not fun, action equals to work, action equals to pain, learning equals to fun. It's nice to be more knowledgeable, but it's not nice to actually do it. Like for instance, it's nice to learn how to the psychology of writing a sales page. It's fun to learn that, right? But then you will go, oh, now I got it. Now it is how people sell. This is how it gets people to buy. But doing it, like sitting down and actually writing it, it's not that fun because now you really need to think, and you have to allocate your time to do the writing. So that could be the reason. The other reason, which is deeper than ever, in a sense that it's very deep inside you that you do not realize unconsciously, is that you are too fearful. You are too fearful that if you do take the action and you don't get the results, right? You cannot face it. You cannot accept the reality that you cannot get the results. Whether you are worried that other people will look at you like a failure, or you yourself could not accept it. So, for instance, right? What do I mean by others? So, let's say you have a husband, right? Let's say you're a woman and you tell your husband that you're gonna start this digital e-commerce, you're going to be very successful, you'll be able to generate income and so on. So your husband trusted you and he said, okay, dear, I will give you the support, moral support, financial support, all the support for you to do it. And you're very happy about it. then you know is that, if I take action, if I sort of flop, I cannot face the truth because now I'm going to disappoint my husband. Or if it's the other way around, if your husband is the person that is not too supportive and say that, you it will never work, darling. This is all these are scams, okay, right? And you fight against that and you insist that no, this is workable. I'm going to prove it to you, right? And you are worried that if it didn't turn out the way how you claim it to be, right, you're going to get the typical I told you so. And, everybody hates that, right? Including me. I don't like to be pointed out that, hey, you are wrong. So that's the reason why you did not take action, right? Because one of those is that you're just too lazy and you do not want to work, or you are worried to fail. Like subconsciously, you cannot accept the reality that you are not going to get the results, right? You just didn't take action, right? And this is usually at a very subconscious stage. The other thing is that if you haven't taken action, it is not because you lack of knowledge, which is true. You could be lack of knowledge, but you have to ask yourself this, which I do not know your stage at this moment of time. I do not know what training you have gone through and so on. I mean, how many modules you have gone through and so forth. This is something that you have to ask yourself: is that have you got started in terms of the knowledge that you need to acquire to get started, right? So if you don't have that, you got to have that, and that's a fair argument. You can't get started if you do not know how to get started. But let's say you have that and you still haven't got started, right? Why? The other reason is simply because you're way too comfortable. You don't have the drive. You just, well, if this works out, it's great. If it doesn't work out, well, nothing really happens. Or, someone may complain to you, like your spouse or your kids or your mother or your father, right? May complain to you to get things done, but you know that it is not at the peak yet. Like, that's not going to be an explosion yet. That it is still fine. They can still uh, tell you to do it, but you can still delay, procrastinate, and nothing will happen. In other words, you are in a very comfortable situation. So this is why you don't take action, right? You do something else, right? Just try to think about that. Is that true or not? I do not know, but here I am trying to help you to overcome that. So you have to be sincere with yourself. Now, I know that for me, that is the reason why I take action or I do not take action. But you see, to me, when I take action, even though I'm comfortable right now, I would focus on if I don't take action, I will not be this comfortable anymore. So it is just how you actually train your mind to think. Because if you understand that everything is in your mind is the one that creates your reality. Do you understand that? Like everything, like the whole thing, it is how your mind is telling you. And this may sound hocus pocus, and I am not going to go through that. I mean, I read so much about all this mind stuff and so on, but not those, those subconscious law of attraction stuff. I'm not referring to those. I'm referring to the science behind how your mind is actually working and how your so-called brain is wired in that sense. So I make sure that it's wired in a way that is enforcing me to take action. So how is your brain wired in that sense? So if you cannot go through that process of taking action in the sense that you're still not taking action and you're still in the learning phase, then you have to get yourself uncomfortable. And here's how. Let's say you don't have a job right now and you are still doing learning process because you are not in the red zone yet, right? How long can you last? Whatever savings that you have, how long can you last? You get to figure that out and work backwards from now. Let's say you can last for the next 6 months. At this level, at this pace that you're going, how long can you last? In 6 months' time, when the well is dry, as in that your income, your savings is dry, can you continue to be as happy as this moment of time? Ask yourself that question. If it's not, it's a very scary situation when you have no money and you can't launch your online business yet, simply because it's going to take time to build a business. It's not going to happen overnight. But the good news is, if you start now, you have 6 months to get that moving. So, but if you know that your well, which is your bank, is going to dry up in like 30 days, I would suggest to start panic, for you to start get worried that you're gonna be in red zone very quickly. So that is basically to answer to you about why you haven't got started. And it's not any external factor, but it is you who are actually controlling your own action of getting started or not. So let's go to the next question. I have started, but I haven't gotten any result yet. Why? So this is where you have gone through the next step, in the sense that you have overcome the mind game of not moving forward. You have started taking action, but you're not generating any sales, you're not building leads, you're just not moving forward with the results. Although you see that, hey, I've been following the plan, what is wrong, right? So if you're at this phase, it's actually very easy to tackle and to solve the problem. Here's why, right? It has to do with marketing. It has to do with how you are marketing your offer to the market. So this is the 5-step system that I teach all of my clients. All of my coaching clients, my mentoring clients, they go through the same process. Whether they spend $100 or they spend 20,000 with me, they all go through the same process, because it's the foundation of your internet marketing business. So these are the 5 steps. The first one is that you get to decide what niche market that you want to serve, right? So you cannot be having a product that is suitable for everyone. It has to be suitable for selected group of people. So now, if you are not getting results, my first question is that, are you serving the right niche market? Or you're serving a market that won't buy? Or you're serving a market that is very negative? Who knows what market that you're serving? Or you're serving a market that's way too competitive for you to get into, right? So that's the first place that you need to look at. Are you serving a niche market that can generate income for you or not? So let's say you are serving the right market, and usually you will do, because when it comes to the market, usually any niche market is fine so long you have a niche market. Meaning this, if let's say you're serving those people who likes yoga, like, you're serving the fitness market, but about those yoga. So you can't go wrong, because you are serving a niche market. The challenge is when someone is indecisive to choose a niche market that they want to serve, okay? So if you have that, like I said, chances are you're not going to make mistake there. So then it has to go to step 2. The second step in the 5-step system is your offer. So you found your market, your niche market. So my question to you is that, do you know what is the pain in this niche market? Like, what will make them buy? What are they looking for? What problem they're trying to solve? What kind of achievement they're striving for? What are those? Have you list that down and truly figure it out? Now, I don't do yoga. I'm just going to make up an example. Let's say their challenge is to be focused when doing yoga. Let's say that is the challenge. Let's say, right? Of course, it's not true. Do you have the offer that's suitable for this challenge that they have? Meaning, do you have the solution for this challenge? Now, the solution could be a course or training that to teach them how to stay focused. It could be the mat for them to do the yoga training, if you're in the physical product business, which I am not. Or it could be some music, some sound that they can plug in, which it's in my realm, because it's a form of digital product that if they listen to that when they are doing yoga, they can be very focused. Again, I just make this up, right? Such solution may not exist. So the question is that, if you are not getting results, perhaps you are not addressing the right offer to them. So go and check what is your offer that you're giving to them. Whether you're promoting an affiliate program or you're selling your own products, is it a suitable offer for your niche market? Now, they are not fulfilling it They are not addressing it with the right offer to the market. Why would people buy? Why would the market buy if you're not giving them the right offer? Okay, so let's say you are giving them the right offer. Now, by the way, when I say the right offer, it expands so much more deeper because it may be the right product, the right solution, but maybe there are many competitors. The same product that you have, there are other brands that they can choose from. The same product that you offer may be too expensive for them. You see where I'm coming from? The right offer may still not be right in that sense. There's the pricing, there are the competitors, and so on. Okay? So don't just think that, hey, everybody wants this because this will solve the problem. You have to consider all of the other challenges, obstacles that why it prevents them to acquire or to buy or to take up the offer. But let's say you have the right offer. So in theory, they should buy, right? So now the third step is your website, your web page. So now you have the market, you have the offer. For these people to see this offer, they got to quote unquote meet, see on a web page. Whether it's a fan page, whether it's a blog, whether it's a sales page, I do not know what platform that you use, but is your web page structured, curated, designed to get you the sale or not? So you have to understand the behavioral of your market and to give them the right web page. I mean, like certain market, you can just sell on Facebook and they will buy if the offer is on Facebook, right? Because this is a Facebook people. Some would never do that. They will feel not safe. They will need to go to like a proper web page to buy something. So if you have the right platform, then is your copy converting? I mean, is your web page uh, delivering the right message to them? And when I say the right message, is in like, does it convey what they want to hear? Now, I'm not asking you to lie, right? You don't do that. But your product, the offer hasn't been structured, hasn't been written in a way that this market will find it exciting. Are you using the right terms and jargons that relate to the market where they can understand and so on? I mean, on your website, there are so many other elements. Does it have like testimonials? Do you use videos to convey the message? Do you have attractive images? If this market needs to see images, like for instance, if the market is about weight loss, obviously they need to see before and after pictures. Do you have that, right? So let's say you believe that you have a good copy, you have a good video, and you're supposed to sell. So if you have that, you need to drive traffic to it. And driving traffic is a huge topic of its own. So for this specific niche market, what kind of traffic would be suitable for it? Is it like newsletter advertising? Is it referral traffic? Is it SEO traffic? Is it Google AdWords? Is it Facebook ads? Is it traffic from Snapchat? Is it traffic from Reddit? There's so many ways of how you can get traffic. So the most important question is this, is that the traffic that you're driving to your webpage for this niche market, is it targeted or not? Or you're just driving traffic? I mean, you can go to AdFly and spend, say, $20 for 10,000 clicks, right? But this is not targeted traffic. This is just visitors, right? And if you do that and you say that, hey, you know what? How come I'm not getting results? It's because you fail at the traffic generation portion. So the rule is this, is that you need to check and evaluate, are you driving responsive and targeted traffic? So if these people likes about yoga, let's say you're buying banner ads, is your ad showing at yoga.com? Again, I do not know what's at yoga.com, but I would assume yoga.com will be a website about yoga. You see where I'm coming from? So people who like yoga usually will go to yoga.com, and if your offer is at yoga.com, the banner, and it promotes a solution for yoga improvement, right? They come over here and they see your offer on your website that is built for them, and then you get a sale. So you need to make sure that all of them align in that sense. If you're not getting the results, as I said, it's so easy to troubleshoot your process. You just need to see which part you're not doing right. Okay, if you fix here, or you fix here, or fix here, you may see some results. And of course, there's the fifth step, which I leave it out from this whole system, simply because the fifth step is all about conversion. So if you go through all of these four steps and you're not getting sales, then you will have the fifth step. The fifth step is, of course, is to see where you can improve four of these steps in that sense. I know it sounds a bit confusing, but try to digest this or watch this whole session again and look back into your online business and tell me which part you think you're not doing it right. Okay? So let's move to question number four. I need to create something new and different. How do I do that? So we are referring to a product, right? And let's say you are going into internet marketing niche and you are going to have a product about how to get traffic. Now, if you are going to do that, it's going to be quite competitive because there are so many courses and training and product about getting traffic. So obviously you need to have something new or something different, right? And you can think out of the box to do this, or the other solution is to use the scamper technique. So basically the scamper technique breaks down to SCAMPER, which gives you 7 different variations of improving, or should I say, changing an existing product to become new and different. For instance, you have Scamper. Each of the effort represents something. So for instance, A is about adapt, right? Or adopt. Adapt means that could you create a product based on existing product that is successful to be adapted into a different niche market. Okay, so let's start with R. Okay, at the end, R is for replace. So which means is that with an existing product, could you replace some of the existing parts of the existing product, right, to become like a new product? So the scamper technique is training is a technique that has been created like many years ago, which is taught in universities, and it is used for any different things, specifically for like physical products, like for instance this watch here, right? So let's say this is a digital watch. So what it means by replace, it could be like, could we replace some of these parts here so it becomes like a new product? So for instance, maybe we could replace the stripe for this one with something else, and now you have a new product to sell, right? So let's move to the fifth question. The fifth question is that other than Facebook, where else should I consider to buy traffic? And I'm going to teach you or share with you based on what or how or where I would buy my traffic, right? And the easiest way for me to teach is to tell you what I do and also what I will be doing. So Facebook will stay, as in like we'll still be buying traffic from Facebook. And the reason why we may consider to buy traffic elsewhere is because Facebook ad cost has been increasing lately. Actually, I wouldn't use the word lately, but I would say averagely the price continue to increase because more advertisers are jumping on board and many big brands are in Facebook right now. So imagine you're competing with Coca-Cola, right? Of course, you're not because you're not selling sodas, but I want to give you the example, right? I mean, let's say if you are selling training about fitness, you may be competing with huge multi-million dollar company that sells, say, fitness supplements. Although they are not the same product, but they are still targeting the same audience, which means you are competing with them whether you like it or not for the same view, for the same audience. So it can be costly. But Facebook still remains because it has been proven. It is just that the yield may not be that good compared to new traffic source that is cheaper at this moment of time. So other than Facebook, the one that I will consider is definitely Instagram. So Instagram will eventually match Facebook price. And the unique thing about Instagram is that it's no longer used to be where the young crowd is hanging in the sense that people who are above 30s or even 40s, they are now in Instagram too. So Instagram would definitely be the place because it uses Facebook platform. Therefore, I do not need to go through a new learning curve. It's the same place, it's the same way of how you advertise with Facebook. But Instagram has this place called Stories, and I just did a call with a Facebook marketing expert from Facebook, right? Not like another marketer. So he was introducing to me about Instagram story, and I think that's another new opportunity to tap on. So story is where they just see that very quickly, but you can also have your ad in story. And of course, with Instagram, the audience can also be used for Facebook, so it sort of help each other from that perspective. The other traffic source that I will consider would be YouTube, right? And I haven't really explored YouTube at this moment of time when I am answering this question. YouTube is with Google, and they are quite strict in approving the ads. So we have to use a different approach in order to get approval with YouTube. But one of the highlight of YouTube is that there's a feature that allows you to target those people who search for your niche. Let's say someone goes to Google and search for like how to create a digital product, right? And they go to Google, they didn't go to YouTube. Now I can set it up so that when they go to YouTube later on, because they search in Google, they go to YouTube, my ads come out to that person who searched in Google. So now the ad comes out and says, hey, we have like a free course on how to create your digital product, right? So that's very powerful because it's highly targeted audience. So this is where I would focus on. I will start with Instagram and I would move into YouTube. And I think by just focusing on those two extras will keep me very busy for the time being. And of course, I will still be with Facebook. Now, the other source of traffic that I would consider to buy, which I haven't started aggressively yet, which I would suggest you to look into, is the influencer traffic. So which means that you could actually pay a social influencer like an Instagrammer, a YouTuber, a Twitter person, or even someone on Facebook to mention about your product or your offer or your website for a fee. And that can be very powerful because not just you can get the traffic, but at the same time you can also get the influencer's brand towards your product, because in a way that you actually pay not just for the traffic but also the endorsement from his brand, right? So that is powerful. And the reason why I haven't truly explored this yet is because the influencer traffic is usually more logical for niche markets. Like for instance, this is what I mean. If I was to get like an influencer to promote, say, a digital marketing course, it's kind of weird because he's like doing digital marketing, right? And then asking, I mean, it's sort of weird, but let's say the influencer is, let's say, a celebrity, okay? And a celebrity, a celebrity, an Instagrammer, and he endorsed, say, course about how to lose fat, right? So now it is still related to his or her audience, but it's not in conflict in that sense. So you gotta see what kind of niche that you're in to get the right type of social influencer to give you the traffic. All right. And today there are websites available on the internet today where you can go inside there and see a list of influencers who are, willing to accept a fee to mention about your product. So it has become much more easier compared to the past where you need to scout the internet to find all of them and manually, PM them, DM them, direct message them and say, hey, would you be interested to mention about my product in your tweet, in your next YouTube episodes, and so on. Right now, it's a bit easier. All right, so there you go. These are the 5 questions and the answer that are associated to them. All right, with that said, it's Patrick here, and I hope that you enjoy today's insider coaching session. Take care.